estimated hundreds who hold their own little rally outside the gymnasium.
Freedom of speech! Freedom of speech! Three questions, Mr. Lund! Three questions, Mr. Lund!
Back here live, this crowd here of the pro-immigrant folks here under heavy police presence here. You can see all kinds of officers and sheriff's deputies, and what they're doing is that as people leave this meeting, and you're going to see it right now, you can see these two people leaving, they're kind of challenging them, holding up signs that say, if the migrant is not your brother, then God is not your father. But here's the big question. Will another busload of these illegal immigrants be delivered to Marietta this coming Friday? The chief of the Border Patrol, you heard that woman ask that question. He could not give a clear answer. In Marietta, John Soderman, KUSI News.
You can see, ladies and gentlemen, the American people are not having it. They're not having any of this nonsense. Could you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to come back to this. Actually, this scene is going to play out, should play out, all over the country. Whether it does or not remains to be seen. It should be. Every town these people are being bussed into. Look, and I'm sick. This is what the left does. Godless liberals like to start quoting scripture to defend their godless policies. Drives me insane. Oh, if migrants aren't your brother, then God is not your father. Shut up, stupid. I just despise these people. Hey, nobody wants to hurt any of these people. Nobody wants to see any harm come to them. Send them home. Send them back where they came from. Period. A nation without a border is not a nation at all. If you do not stand for the rule of law, then God is not your father either. The rule of law is the only thing that keeps us from going back into the dark ages. And really, that's where most liberals want to take us. They want to take us back into the dark ages. Only instead of monarchies, they just want liberal dictatorships, where people like Barack Hussein Obama, they tell everybody how much they're going to get to eat, where they're going to get to live, if they get to work, what it's going to be. That's where these people want to go. It drives me insane. No, God the Father is for the rule of law. These people are no better than the jihadis who twist the Quran around to justify their, jihad. People are no different. Okay, they're not, don't get me wrong. The outcome isn't the same. But their tactic of twisting faith, twisting religion, twisting definitions of words to justify their lawlessness. Maybe that wasn't the best comparison, but hey, maybe it was, And then we have Barry, Barack Hussein Obama, Barry Soetoro. I don't know what his name is. He's out chugging beer and shooting pool. And, oh, it drives me crazy. It really does. And we got Barry out, Everything's fine. Nothing to see here. Could you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, if George W. Bush, during Katrina, could you imagine if he refused to allow Democrat politicians into New Orleans? Could you imagine if he went around making, doctors, reporters, government agencies? Could you imagine if he went around making them sign confidentiality forms threatening to steal their jobs? If they said a word. Could you imagine? We had Republican congressmen last week trying to get into one of these camps, absolutely refused, denied access. People being threatened right and left to keep their mouths shut. Could you imagine if George W. Bush did that during Katrina? Didn't allow any TV cameras in. Didn't allow any Democrat politicians in. Could you imagine? This is, it's getting more and more like Nazi Germany. I don't know what color shirts they're wearing. I haven't seen any brown shirts. But apparently they're out there. Apparently, the brown shirts are apparently the Gestapo. Of course, the Gestapo were plain clothes. The brown shirts were, I can't remember the name of them. The brown shirts actually preceded the Nazi Party. The early days of the Nazi Party. And the Gestapo then, when the Gestapo, came to be, they were plain clothes, so maybe that explains it. I don't know. This border thing is a manufactured crisis. It's why Barack Obama's not going down there. It's why it's a manufactured crisis to force the Republicans to pass his version of comprehensive immigration, which is nothing of the sort. And for the life of me, I don't know why every Republican politician in the country isn't in front of every camera they can get in front of, demanding the border be secured. For the life of me, I don't know why the governors of California, well, I know why the governor of California is not, but the governors of New Mexico, Arizona, and Texas, for the life of me, I don't know why they don't tell Barack Obama to go to hell and secure their borders. Okay, the Supreme Court said we don't have the right to enforce federal immigration law. We do have the right to defend the borders of the state of Texas and the state of Arizona and the state of New Mexico. I don't know why they don't mobilize their state guards and send them to the border. What's Barack Obama going to do? It's time for somebody to call his bluff. He's a thug. He's a punk thug is what he is. And when you stand up to punk thugs, 9 times out of 10, they back down. That might be harsh language, ladies and gentlemen, but it's obvious. It's obviously true. I swear, if I was the governor of one of those states, I'd send a guard to the border. And when the federal government tries to stop you, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not enforcing federal immigration law. I'm defending the border of Arizona. I'm defending the border of Texas. I mean, we conservatives. We conservatives can't even get on the same page. Here's a story. Shout out Breitbart. Glenn Beck, story by Tony Lee. Glenn Beck said bringing soccer balls, teddy bears, and hot meals to illegal immigrants who have been detained along the U.S.-Mexican border will be the most right thing he has ever done. On July 19th, Beck will travel to McAllen, Texas, because he believes Americans must open our hearts to illegal immigrant children who have been unlawfully entering the country. I've never taken a position more deadly to my career than this, and I have never, ever taken a position that is more right than this, Beck claimed, according to The Blaze. Beck said helping illegal immigrants illegal immigrant children, most of whom have fled Central American nations, was more right to him than ever calling out radical Islam. We're going to fill some tractor trailers with food. I lost my place. The story jumped on me. We're going to fill some tractor trailers with food and water. Peck said the churches have asked us if we could bring teddy bears and soccer balls, so we've loaded up a whole tractor trailer of nothing but teddy bears and soccer balls. Then I'm going to go serve breakfast and lunch, and I'm going to help unload these trucks and hot meals for 3,000. That's what we're doing. Some illegal immigrants have been found to have contagious diseases and dangerous gang affiliations, but Beck also emphasized the United States should be accessible to all those fleeing poverty and violence. What the hell? This dude has gone off the deep end. He should give it, I used to have the utmost respect for Glenn Beck. He's out of his mind. Hey, Glenn, take my advice. It's time to give up your career in talk radio. Shut down the Blaze. Take all that money and open you up a Mormon church. Become a pastor of a Mormon church. You're more preacher than patriot, there, Chief. I ain't mad at you. He's out of his mind. He doesn't understand that what he's about to do, it's like going to